Hey yo, first and foremost, shout out to Lamont Roach and Tank. That was a great fight. I enjoyed it. But yo, I'm making this video because for the whole build-up, y'all were killing me over my victory over Lamont, saying that he wasn't worthy of the Tank fight. But at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say, I got that W. That's all I'm saying. I got the W.
Boxing world has been buzzing about the intense showdown between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Here are some of the most shocking reactions to the fight. Lamont Roach is no stranger to Gervonta Davis. The two faced off in the amateur ranks, creating a history that added even more weight to their recent clash. Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Jr., has watched Davis rise to superstardom. But that didn't matter when it came time for this fight. The tension was sky high and the atmosphere was electric. "My mind says to beat him," Roach told Boxing Scene before the fight. Roach won his title in November 2023 by defeating Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez' victory over Demetrius Andrade. He successfully defended his belt once against Fergal McCrory on Pro Box TV before landing this career-changing opportunity against Davis, one of the biggest fights a boxer could ask for. "This camp is different because I feel like they're counting me out," said Roach. The 29-year-old was fired up, especially after Terence Crawford's bold comments. The former undisputed champion claimed that in today's boxing scene, only his close friend Shakur Stevenson and stablemate Keyshawn Davis, who recently climbed into the lightweight division's elite, have what it takes to hand Gervonta Davis a loss. Davis has built his reputation as a relentless finisher, forcing opponents to retreat with his sheer power. His last fight saw him stop Frank Martin in his only bout of 2024, following a knockout win over Ryan Garcia the previous year. For Lamont Roach Jr., this was a massive uphill battle. But so was Muhammad Ali's fight against George Foreman in Kinshasa. What followed became legendary, cementing the Rumble in the jungle in boxing history. With confidence, Roach delivered a bold statement before the fight. "Roses are red, violets are blue. March 1st sounds like, and the new," he declared. For Davis, this wasn't just another title defense. For Roach, it wasn't just another challenge. It was personal. Their rivalry started in 2011 when Davis defeated Roach twice as an amateur. More than a decade later, Roach was hungry for redemption, and he wasn't shy about saying so. But if there's one thing Davis doesn't do, it's back down, especially when the trash talk starts flying. The moment Roach Jr. spoke up, Davis had a response ready. "Roses are red, violets are blue. March 1st sounds like, don't worry, baby, you'll be home soon from the hospital." Davis shot back. Fans immediately jumped in with their reactions. Some loved the playful exchange, while others dismissed it. Either way, the hype for the fight kept growing. Before the bout, Terence Crawford stirred the pot even more. He and several others, including Shakur Stevenson, backed Keyshawn Davis as the one who could potentially dethrone Gervonta Davis. Speaking to a group of reporters, Crawford was asked about a possible title unification match. Shrugging, he simply said whoever, but added that Gervonta Davis knows exactly what he's up against when facing Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. As usual, critics of Gervonta Tank Davis resurfaced, with Crawford pointing out that Davis has mostly faced opponents who don't match his skill level. They might have some skill here and there, but mentally, they're not strong enough to keep up for the whole fight. Crawford explained, so, was Lamont Roach Jr. just another name on the list of fighters who couldn't truly challenge Davis? Crawford didn't include Roach when discussing the boxers who could finally hand Davis his first defeat. Those two guys, Shakur and Keyshawn, yeah, they're the ones who will give Tank his first loss, the Nebraska native concluded.
When I said it on Twitter, it went viral when I said the top 5 thing. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people disagreed. Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, "Oh, this guy, you a meat lover."
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Former champion Mikey Garcia recently spoke with Fight Hub TV about the highly anticipated fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. While analyzing the matchup, Garcia also shared why he isn't particularly excited about a potential showdown between Davis and Shakur Stevenson, even though it remains one of the most unpredictable and intriguing bouts in the lightweight division. Garcia expresses confidence in Davis, saying, "Before the fight, I already believed Tank was one of the top fighters in the lightweight division. Roach is a solid opponent, but I don't see him as a major threat to Tank. Davis is incredibly skilled, highly experienced, and possesses knockout power that makes him a dangerous opponent for anyone. He's faced almost every style in the ring and continues to dominate." He added, It's tough to bet against Tank. No disrespect to Roach, but Tank is a beast. He proves it every time he steps into the ring, and I believe he'll do it again in this fight. As for Stevenson, his fighting style focuses on hitting without getting hit. His precise movement, strong defense, and impressive speed allow him to dominate opponents and secure clear victories. However, some critics argue that his fights lack excitement. Despite this, Stevenson remains confident that when the stakes are high, he will deliver his best performance. Garcia admitted, "Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Stevenson versus Davis fight. Don't get me wrong. Shakur is an incredible fighter. He has top-tier skills, great footwork, speed, reflexes, and counterpunching ability. He's one of the best. But the problem is, Stevenson fights his way no matter what fans or critics want to see. For him, winning is winning, and that's his priority." As a fan, Garcia found Stevenson's approach less appealing. While he acknowledged Stevenson's technical brilliance, he personally preferred matchups that promised more action. "I'd rather see Tank fight Lomachenko," Garcia continued. "Lomachenko also has speed, reflexes, and footwork, but he engages more in fights. Shakur's style can make fights dull, and that might make it harder for him to land the big fights. Until he adjusts his approach and brings more action, I don't think Tank or other top fighters will be eager to face him." Enter Tank Davis, a knockout artist from Baltimore known for his devastating finishes. His highlight reel is filled with jaw-dropping moments, and inside the gym, rumors suggest he dominates even much heavier sparring partners. Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley predicted before the fight that Davis would claim his 31st career win and 29th knockout against Lamont Roach Jr., Lampley explained. Roach has done his best to stay optimistic. He remembers seeing Davis in the amateurs and understands the kind of power and precision Tank brings to the table. He's motivated to pull off an upset and knows the financial reward that would follow. But what he hasn't done is provide a clear strategy for how he plans to overcome Davis, a fighter known for delivering spectacular knockouts and rising as one of the biggest names in the sport. Lampley further stated, "Even if Tank didn't have his incredible punching power, he would still be an elite lightweight due to his southpaw stance, smart boxing skills, and killer instinct. But what truly sets him apart is his sheer power. He doesn't just defeat opponents, he destroys them. His knockouts are as dramatic and devastating as those we saw from Mike Tyson early in his career. Davis is beyond the development stage now, but he continues to leave his opponents in shock. Roach may have improved, but I don't see this fight ending any differently." He added, "Roach is a solid fighter with a good background, but when I asked one of the most experienced boxing writers I know about Roach's chances, he told me the same chance a caterpillar has against a steamroller. Davis will likely win by a mid-round TKO and move on to bigger fights against Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, or Keyshawn Davis, opponents who at least stand a better chance." Meanwhile, boxing legend Bernard Hopkins also shared his thoughts on the Davis versus Roach fight during an interview with Michelle Joy Phelps of Fight Hub TV. Hopkins didn't hesitate to make his stance clear. Tank Davis is a problem for anyone he faces. The pressure is on Roach or anyone who fights him to find a way to win. Earlier this summer, Roach was originally called by the sanctioning body to fight interim champion Albert Baturgazev. Regardless of past matchups, Hopkins emphasized that Davis must stay focused. Tank can't underestimate Roach. Roach is a very good fighter, both as a boxer and a puncher. He also carries confidence from his amateur days, and that matters. Roach himself shed light on the circumstances that led to this fight. He had agreed to face Davis earlier, but since he wasn't a champion at the time, the fight didn't materialize. Instead, the PBC chose Hector Luis Garcia as Davis's opponent. Though Hopkins acknowledged Davis's strengths, he also issued a warning. "Tank has my support, but he shouldn't get too comfortable. Roach is skilled, and anything can happen in boxing. Both fighters need to be at their best." That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update